Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. We just hit 43,600 subscribers. Can we get to 44K by the end of the month? Please like this video down below and subscribe to the channel. But before we get started, I have to tell you guys about my friends over at Noble Gold. Gold just made history. It hit its record high of 1933.30, and it is showing no signs of stopping. Bloomberg says it will zoom past $2,000 sooner than expected, and Bank of America said it will get to $3,000 in 18 months, and billionaire Thomas Kaplan predicted a new decade-long bull market that will push past $5,000 an ounce. And guess what? Silver's joining the rally too. It jumped 4.5% to its highest since 2013 at $23.86 per ounce. This is no surprise to the team Noble Gold, but if it's a surprise to you, and you're sick of the low returns, hassle, and volatility of stocks, it's time you look at gold and silver. The team at Noble Gold will find you a perfect plan that works. Choose precious metals for your IRA or 401k this month, and you may even get a free 5-ounce silver America the Beautiful coin. This offer is for qualified IRAs and 401ks, so please call 877-646-5347 to see if you qualify for this amazing offer. Stop wasting your time. Stop losing opportunities for gains. Protect your future. Go to noblegoldinvestments.com. Again, that's www.noblegoldinvestments.com. And today we are going to have a short video, kind of a shorter video. We are going to be doing the 2020 governor's map. We're going to be doing the governor's map here. And we are going to do this prediction, and we are going to see exactly how it pans out. Will Republicans be able to gain seats in the state houses, or will Democrats be able to gain seats in the state houses? So without further ado, I think it's about time that we start to get into this. We're going to start on the East Coast. We're going to work our way to the West Coast. We're going to start at the state of New Hampshire. Now, Donald Trump might win New Hampshire. It's a very, a slim chance he does. It's a state that he could flip from 2016 that he lost by 3,000 votes. However, Chris Sununu is a very, very popular governor. Some of the polls have had him up over 40 points in the state of New Hampshire. Personally, I think that is going to be a safe seat, and if Donald Trump ends up winning in New Hampshire, I think he has to credit Chris Sununu, who, unlike governors like Phil Scott, Charlie Baker, Larry Hogan, is actually pro-Trump and is endorsing Trump for this election cycle. Now we go to the state of Vermont. I'm going to put Vermont as likely red, because we do know that Phil Scott is a very popular governor despite it being one of the bluest states in the nation. And he is facing a little bit of competition. You look at his opponent, David Zuckerman. He won the primary. The Democrats obviously got more votes in the primary than Phil Scott did. However, I expect a decent amount of them to vote for Phil Scott in the general election, and I do expect Phil Scott to win by a likely margin, if not a safe margin. Delaware will be safe blue. West Virginia will be safe red. I don't see a big challenger to Jim Justice there. Same thing with Indiana with Eric Holcomb. A lot of polls have hit him up double digits, so we're going to leave that as safe red. The contested states here, we're going to have two really main contested states, Montana and North Carolina. North Carolina is going to go to Roy Cooper. I'm going to put him at a likely margin. We've seen polls that have had it closer, like a tied election. We've seen a poll that had him up, 4, 6, 10%. It's a ticket-splitting state. I expect Trump to win. I expect Tillis to run a couple points behind Trump, and I expect Roy Cooper to probably win by around 6 to 7 points over Dan Forest when it's all said and done. So North Carolina will hold for the Democrats, even though I do expect Trump to hold it at the nationwide level. He's up in the RCP aggregate right now in the state of North Carolina. Missouri, there were some polls that had this as a likely margin, but we know a lot of the polls in Missouri typically overestimate the Democrats, underestimate Republicans. Personally, I think that Mike Parson is going to win by around 12 to 13 points. He may underperform Trump by a few, especially because he was not duly elected back in the 2016 election. But nevertheless, I think because it's a red state, because of his policies being more aligned with the state's views, I think Missouri's going to hold red. North Dakota is going to hold red for the Republicans. Doug Burgum should have no problem winning in North Dakota. Utah, same thing with Spencer Cox. I would not expect him to lose there. So now we are at 26 for Republicans, 22 for Democrats. Can they sweep? We're going to obviously fill out Washington. Jay Inslee won the primary. He got roughly 52% of the vote there. Lauren Kulp, who's a guy, by the way, I said it was a woman in the last video. People hit me pretty hard for that in the comment section. But from the looks of it, I would expect Washington to stay with Inslee. Last time around, it was a likely margin for Inslee. It could get closer, maybe closer than expected. I don't expect Inslee to perform as well as Joe Biden does in the state of Washington, because there is a vocal group of people in the state of Washington who don't necessarily like Inslee. And I would expect the state to move right a couple of points if you look at the primary turnout data from the presidential level as well as the primary turnout level for the governor's race, but I still would expect Inslee to hold with a safe margin. Now, the only flip of the day here is going to be Montana. Personally, I think Montana is going to flip into the Republican column. A lot of the polls we've seen have Greg Gianforte up by roughly 5 to 6 percentage points. Even some polls had him up by 9. And these polls also had Steve Daines gaining a little bit of traction in terms of the Senate race over Steve Bullock, whose popularity is kind of cooling down from the height of the epidemic, where he had a very high approval rating. So from the looks of it, I would expect him to beat the Lieutenant Governor Mike Cooney based on all polling, because it is a more polarized environment than it was even 4 years ago when John Ford barely lost to Steve Bullock. And the lieutenant governor now is not exactly as popular. Mike Cooney is not exactly as popular as Steve Bullock was back in 2016. So I would expect that to flip for the Republicans. Obviously, Gianforte has a long history of controversy. He body slammed a reporter, but that didn't stop him from winning the congressional election twice in a state that typically can vote in some moderate Democrats in terms of the Senate, in terms of the House, the State House, but it didn't exactly work out. So the final totals here are 27 for the Republicans, 23 for the Democrats. Republicans flipped one seat, that was Montana. Yes, I think Montana could go by a lean margin, but the polling right now we've seen has it at likely. I think we'll leave it at that typically, because polls in Montana do usually underestimate the Republicans. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Please like this video down below, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. By the way, guys, you can become a member now. You can hit the join button if you're on a laptop or desktop. If not, you can join using the link in the description. And you guys can also donate to the Patreon or Subscribe Star if you wish. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle, out.